What's up, guys? Today I got a really cool video. We've got Dan Styer here, and he is involved with Mac tools with their RBRT bits. And it's some pretty cool technology. If you guys hadn't seen it, this is going to be a really awesome demo that you're not going to want to miss. So let's get at it. Come on. Alright guys, so here's Dan Styer.
Hi.
And he works with Mac Tools. And he was in part of the invention and promotion and sale and I guess education of the RBRT bits. So I guess since you got these super big cool ones, maybe you could explain to people what they are and how they work.
So this is a 3D printed model of our brand new RBRT hex Allen head. Okay, and as you'll notice, it has some very cool machine work on it. So it's the only hex head on the planet that's got a U-shaped channel that's machined into it and a flat spot on each leading edge for very specific reasons, and let me explain to you why.
Okay.
When you take a hex head tool and you put it into a hex head fastener and you apply torque, all of the pressure is out to the outside corners. So effectively what happens is as you apply torque, it starts to spread the inside of the bolt, and that's why they round over. When you insert the RBRT hex into a fastener and you apply torque, you can see that it pulls the pressure inward rather than pushing to the outside corners. The RBRT Allen is not an extractor. This is the next generation Allen tool, meant to take the place of what you use now. What you don't want to do is go and grab your old Allen tool and strip out a bolt and then try to reach for mine. What you want to do is reach for mine the first time, prevent you from stripping it to begin with. However, we have had tremendous success because of the way this engages the fastener that it will take out compromised fasteners, and we've taken out rounded fasteners in the 90 percentile range. It's all subjective, as you know, but they are a phenomenal new technology.
That's a pretty interesting point because, you know, having the right tool a lot of times will save you trouble down the road. And, you know, me and you talked off camera about this, so if everybody starts out with using this, the chance of it stripping is greatly reduced. Versus, you know, not having the proper tool to start.
Right, reaching for the old style hex head to begin with and stripping it out.
And I think a lot of the issue is people don't seat the tool properly into the fastener when they go to remove it, and that's a lot of the problems that they'll have that causes it to strip to start with.
Right. Clay, that's an outstanding point. For all RBRT bits to function properly, it is essential that you make sure that it is seated into the fastener properly, even if it means taking a hammer and giving it a little light tap, and make sure you get it seated down into the bottom of that fastener when you apply torque. Greatly improves your chances of getting out compromised fasteners. But you know what, guys? Reach for them the first time, every time. Replace what you have now with this. And you know what'll happen is you'll be thinking to yourself, wow, I haven't stripped a hex head in a long time. You know why? Nice. Because you have the right tool the first time. That's our new RBRT.
So can we demo some of these?
Absolutely, I've got it.
Okay, so it looks like you've got this demo block set up with hex, torques, triple squires, and torques plus.
That is the line of our new RBRT bit sockets. So the first one we're going to demo is our hex head. So what I have here on this demo block is a good hex head and one that's been punch rounded in the 90 percentile range. And I have a competitor tool here whom we're all familiar with, and I'm going to hand that over to Jay, and he's going to help us out. Jay, go ahead and put it in the good one to show that you know what, it fits like it should.
It does. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And now go ahead and put it into the stripped one and give her a couple turns and see if you can get that loosened up. And that's what we get. It just, all that pressure to the outside corners, and it cams and rounds over.
Yeah, spinning.
So now I'm going to give you my RBRT. And what I want you to notice, Jay, when you put it into the good one, see how the corners bite down in those relief cuts, allow that pressure to be pulled inward, and you can actually feel it just engage that fastener so much tight. Nicer. Now go ahead and put it into the stripped one and crack it loose. It's tight. Uh-oh.
Hold on a second.
There it is. Now you got it. And out comes,
Wow.
Have to get a longer ratchet.
out comes that fastener. Now go ahead and tighten back down with it. This is the next generation technology.
I can't tell you how tight that is.
So now go in reverse and just back it off a little bit, and it'll pop
it
right
is.
out. Now go ahead and put the snap-on one back in there.
It won't come
and
close.
it's not not even going to get
And
it.
that's seated all the way into.
Sure.
So let me look at that one side by side here, so that way. Now this is the RBRT,
Can you see that whole thing?
and you can see how this is made. You see it sort of kind of twist over. And here's the standard snap-on hex that we're used to seeing.
And it is. Look how it's rounded out.
And Clay, it's really important that I reiterate to your viewing audience, your wonderful, wonderful audience, that the RBRT line of tools, they are not extractors. I have a great extractor, which we're going to demo for you. They are not extractors. Use them first time. Don't strip them out to begin with. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
So these are the hex, even though it looks like a Torx. It's a hex.
It is a hex, and a lot of times when people first look at it, because it has that unique U-shaped groove, it's misunderstood. And it's important to know that the technologies do not interchange. We do not use the hex in a Torx fastener.
Right.
What'll happen is it'll fit in because it's six-sided, but as soon as you go to apply some torque, it'll strip out the center of it and make the problem even worse.
Yes.
So we have a Torx bit, and here's a 3D printed model of our Torx bit. And as you can see, if you look at the tips, I've got little hooks machined into the corners. They've got that little flat spot again, and there's a neat little bevel on the top of each one. And I'll show you what that's all about, okay? So we'll switch our tools over and grab our Torx. And in the demo block, you'll see it's the same kind of setup. I have a good Torx fastener and one that's been punch rounded out, and quite frankly, I couldn't tell you what the percentage is.
Yeah,
it's
bad.
round. It's rounded out. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and get Jay to help us again and put it into the good one. That's the snap-on one. And it fits just fine. Although, as you can tell, Jay, it's a little bit wobbly.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a real great tight fit. I don't actually like the way they fit. It's a little sloppy, but it will crack it loose. But go ahead and put it in the rounded one and see if you can get that to...
Oh, that's a bad feeling too.
Isn't that something? Now, the thing about Torx bits is that they don't strip out the same way a hex does. A hex spreads. When a Torx bit strips out, it cams out, and as it clicks out of the fastener, it pulls the metal out of it, right? So now what I want you to do, Jay, is put mine in the good one, and I want you to notice it actually sits down a little deeper, and it is a much nicer, tighter fit. It's a nice, snug fit. It'll crack them loose. You won't get any camming out of a good one. But go ahead and put it into that stripped one. See if you can get it to come
there's a
out
sweet
there.
spot
You
right
can
there.
you can tell right away.
Yep.
That
That thing bit too.
Yeah. It finds any corner that it can, or any scarring.
So that is the way.
Look
the
at that.
Torx.
That
and
is
that's our new
crazy.
Torx bit.
All right, so I know there's going to be some speculation because even me looking at it with a live demo, I know there's going to be some speculation. Somebody is going to say, "Oh, you took that snap-on and you manipulated it. You rounded it off. You filed it down. Something's not right." So, since you have eTorx, I want to use my eTorx.
Oh yeah. You want to grab your Torx bit? Absolutely.
Now these are brand new. I just got them in. I've never used them. They're VAM.
Is this for the triple square?
It's triple square.
This is for the triple square, not the Torx.
So
okay.
that will eliminate the naysayers.
And let's see, in this size, we're looking for an 8.
Here's the triple
Which is
square.
that's it
You
right
guys
there.
can see these are brand new. I just put a picture of these on Instagram where we ordered them off of Amazon because I needed them for a job.
And we're using size M8 on this. Okay, so here is the Vim triple square. And on the demo block, you can see there's the good one, and there's the one that's been rounded out, punch rounded out. And Jay, if you want to go ahead and
Okay.
Insert that into the good one, and it fits like it should.
It does.
Right?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and break it. Yeah.
Cracks it loose.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Because that will keep somebody from saying it was a
Yeah.
rig test.
Right.
We don't want
Put
that.
it in
Go
this
ahead and put her into the rounded one and see if you can get her to.
Yeah, it got in there.
Spin out.
Is it spinning out?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Unless
no
you
way
be
that's
at a-
going to get it.
yeah.
Yeah. You might have to get that warranty. Now go ahead and put mine into the good one there and see
Okay.
it's a really nice snug fit. Cracks them loose like it should. Right?
Yeah.
Now go ahead and put her into the rounded one.
Let me go.
Crack it loose.
That
Wow.
is crazy.
And there it is.
That is awesome.
It
Go
is
ahead and-
You
awesome.
guys can see that's not a rig test. That was a brand new bit when we started. So it's not manipulated. There's no camera tricks. There's no smoke. There's no mirrors. That was a brand spanking new bit. And you've seen it.
It's nuts.
This is truly the next generation, the next newest, greatest technology of bit socket technology. You know, there hasn't been a good bit socket technology innovation in decades. We've done it. RBRT, Mac Tools exclusive.
Okay, so these can be purchased online. If a guy don't have a dealer, let's say he lives out in the middle of nowhere, he's a private guy, he's got his own shop or whatever, but he don't have a dealer. Can he purchase these online?
MacTools.com has a complete complement of RBRT. You can buy full sets. You can buy them individually. There's many, many sets to choose from, many ways to buy RBRT. It's all available online, and they make it really easy for
And they're
you.
lifetime warranty.
They are absolutely lifetime
No matter how you
guaranteed.
break 'em.
Don't care how you break them.
If you drive them in, because that's the way you got to do it, and they break,
You know, that's how it is. A lot of time you have to make sure you bottom it into the fastener. When you're working with compromised fasteners, the metal gets moved around inside the cavity of those fasteners, especially triple square. You need to tap it down into the bottom to make sure it engages, because when that 12 point strips out, it gets ugly inside that fastener. So you have to use a hammer to make sure you get it down into the bottom of that fastener, and that's the results that you can see from RBRT.
there you go. Can we grab one of the packages, and that way people can see what it looks
Absolutely, absolutely.
like? All right, guys, so we showed you the hex and the torques, and of course the e-torques, or the triple squares, I mean, and they've also got ball Allens, or hex balls,
Yep.
whatever you want to call
That's our Speedball Allen head. It's a very interesting design, and it is very important that I let you know at this point. Our ball hexes are not designed to take out very compromised fasteners. I mean, when you stick a ball hex into a fastener, especially if it's rounded out, and you crank it 30 degrees, you have almost no surface contact. So these are not designed for that. Where our ball hex shines is when you have a good fastener and you don't have a straight shot at it and you need some wobble. Those little RBRT designs bite into the corners, and even at 30 degrees, just locks themselves into that fastener. See, what'll happen is when you've got that fastener cranked over 30 degrees and you apply torque with a regular one, a lot of times they'll pop out, and that'll strip the fastener. RBRT prevents that from happening by locking into the corners, and as you apply torque, it just pulls that pressure inward and does a tremendous job. Now, I have a competitor here that is a ball hex, and it works in a good one like it should. It does a good job, but you can see that in the compromised one, I can just spin it with my fingers. Now, this is subjective. Depending, it has to be in reasonably good shape, but if I put my RBRT one in there and lock it down, I can't turn it. It'll grab. So it's subjective. Will it take out compromised fasteners? Yes, it will. Will it take out severely compromised fasteners? No, it's not designed for that. If you don't have a straight shot at a fastener, RBRT ball is the best on the market.
Guys, I can vouch for this because I was playing on that a while ago, and when you put that thing at an angle like that, it kind of just like locks in and holds in. They really, really do a good job.
When we launched, we got a lot of misunderstanding about how our products work. A lot of people thought they were extractors. A lot of people thought my hex was a Torx. A lot of people thought a lot of different things. So I appreciate the opportunity to come here with you, Clay, and get in front of your audience and right a few wrongs, tell a few truths. they are meant to be used the first time, every time.
Well, I can definitely see, and me and you spoke earlier, I think that needs to be every technician's first set. Like, Mac needs to be in every college, high school, VOTEC class, everywhere, pushing this, and that way that's going to prevent a lot of problems for these guys going forward.
Sure,
I know
absolutely.
we're definitely going to be looking at getting the full entire line, and that way we have less trouble going forward. And that's one thing I would like to do is, because not everybody's got a Mac guy, and not everybody's got access to look at them on the truck. So if you got a second, we'll run over the line real quick and what the part numbers are.
Sure.
And
well, let me show you a couple of sets. This is our 13-piece regular chrome Torx, okay?
Okay.
And you can see, if you get a close-up on it, you can see the little hooks machined in there.
Right.
And it's T8 to T60, modeled after every other set that's out there on the market. So that's the standard 13-piece Torx set.
Let's get that part number.
Oh,
when you get it.
forgive me. There's your part number.
Okay.
Okay. This one's my personal favorite. This is our 17-piece metric and standard 1/4-inch drive hex. Okay. It goes from a 1/16 to a 1/4 and 1.5 to 6 millimeter. Now the reason why this is, the reason why this is my favorite is because I use this at home all the time.
Right.
Now certainly it has application in the shop. There's plenty of hex heads that are 6 millimeter and a 1/4. But how many times are you putting together something at the house that's got these cheap Chinese hex heads that you're either
Those
taking
little
apart?
L keys
Oh,
that's
the
meant
L
to-
keys that come with it.
Garbage.
This set is fantastic for the house.
Yeah.
RC car guys, computer guys, you work on that stuff. This is the set for the house. Fantastic. Here's the part number, 17-piece set,
Okay.
RBRT.
That's a nice set right
That's
there.
my favorite personal set right there. This is the one we started with. This is our 14-piece hex, standard and metric mid-length, okay? From an 1/8 to 3/8 and from 4 millimeter to 10 millimeter. Got that great RBRT technology, very nicely machined. Hardened S2 steel. Really nice. And just like with all of our sets that are in the blow molded trays, that carbon fiber lifts right out and you can put that straight into your car to your toolbox. So that's pretty neat.
This set is probably going to be what most mechanic shops are going to target, those sizes there.
This is by far has been our most popular seller. It's what we started with. I like the longer length personally when I've got to get into a tight spot. So, and it retails for under $200. So it's a really nice set.
And that goes, what was the sizes?
The sizes are 4 millimeter to 10 and 1/8 to 3/8.
Yeah, that's a great set. Right
Okay. Now I want to tell you this. A lot of guys will say, I only work on the imports. I don't need the standards. When you're working about trying to get a compromise bolt out, sometimes incremental sizes will matter.
Right.
Okay,
so may fit that 10 millimeter better, or
Correct.
10 millimeter may fit that 3/8.
Correct. I've been in situations where the 6 millimeter is so compromised it won't grab it. The 7 is too big, but that 1/4 inch fit perfectly with a little tap with a hammer. So having both metric and standard really can help you get out compromised ones. But guys, reach for them the first time every time. And here's the part number on that set.
Okay, that's going to be probably the most requested set.
That is a very nice set. And then I'll show you the set of Speedball there that's modeled after the same kind of idea, same sizes, 1/8 to 3/8, 4 millimeter to 10 millimeter.
That's a good set.
And actually, maybe even if I pull the 10 millimeter out, you can see that RBRT design is just very cool. It works very well.
That bigger one will show a little
Yeah.
better. Man, that's amazing.
Thank you. So that's just a few things that I brought with me today. Certainly there is a myriad of ways to buy RBRT. There are, at the moment, 32 different part number sets for triple square, Torx Plus, Torx, and hex, longs, shorts. We have some in stubby. The hex heads and the Torx bits come in a stubby that are really nice, one-piece machined. What I'd like to do is take a minute and talk to you about impact versus chrome.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a great topic.
Now we have on all of our RBRT hex bits, we have an impact version available for impact gun. And we all know the 3/8 cordless impact is the go-to tool. Now, the difference is that the chrome ones are hardened differently. And they are a little bit more aggressive than the impact ones. The impact ones, the flat spot's a little bit broader and they're not quite as aggressive, so when you put it into a fastener and you hit the ugga-duggas, it's not going to damage the fastener. It gives you a little bit of room to play. It gives you a little bit of, it's still a nice tight fit, but it doesn't chew it out. If you put a chrome one on an impact gun, guys, it can become an auger, basically, so you got to be careful with that. Sometimes an impact gun, the thump of an impact gun, will help you get that loose. That's why we have it. So it's important to know when it's appropriate to grab the impact version or when to grab the chrome version. Impact for the thump, chrome for the incremental increase in torque as you apply pressure. The RBRT takes over and does the job. So there's definitely room in your toolbox for both chrome and for impact, and you guys will know which one to use at the time.
There's a lot of older school guys. I've noticed this because this week I helped an older mechanic work on a job. Like my generation don't really bang on a ratchet or bang on a wrench. His generation, that was the way they do it. Like he would take his palm and hit it where I didn't. I would use an impact or my wrench extender. Okay. So what is going to happen when those guys get the chrome? Are they still going to be okay if they bang on the ratchet?
Yeah, you know, banging on the ratchet's not going to be a problem. It's the thump of an impact gun. And I'll tell you, a lot of times it'll pull it out and you'll have no problem. Right. I mean, depending on how compromised or what that bolt is like, what the quality of that metal. Is it really rusted out? Is it really chewed up real bad? You know, all of this plays into it. So different situations are gonna give different results. Right. But if he's got the chrome one on there and it's a pretty good tight fit and that is in reasonable shape, he'll never know. He can bang on it and be fine. Yeah. And the same with an impact gun. But there'll come that time when you put it into a bolt on an impact gun, you put that chrome one in there and you hit the trigger and it just says zip. And
I'm going to tell you, there's no worse sound than when ugga-duggas become vroom.
That's right.
That's it.
That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother problem that you get yourself into. So, you know, you'll know when it's appropriate to, but by looking at the fastener a lot of times, if it's super compromised, if it's super stripped out, you know, I would probably try to tap in an impact one and give it a thump first. I mean, sometimes that'll make all the difference to success. But everything is subjective. Everything is, you know, in our business, there's no guarantees.
That's true.
You know, there's no guarantees. So we have an extractor that I will come back and do a video with Clay, and I believe it to be the best extractor on the planet. And when we do our video, and I will tell you why.
All right, sounds awesome. All right, guys, be sure to check out these RBRT lines through MacTools.com because they are pretty impressive, as you guys seen with the demo today. Thank you very much for coming and showing us this stuff. Like always, guys, give him some love down in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and click that subscribe button. You guys have a great week, and we will catch y'all next time. See ya.